Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Exploring Careers. Today you're joined by me, Mitch, as always, from the team here at Explore Careers. And today we are lucky enough to be joined by Victoria from the team at Bridgestone. Thank you so much for jumping on the call today.
Thanks for having me, Mitch.
I'm excited to get stuck into this one. Now, first question. Now, Bridgestone is a pretty household name, but for those who maybe don't know or might have a bit of a preconceived idea of who Bridgestone are, can you just give us a bit of an overview about Bridgestone, who you are, what you do?
Yep, so Bridgestone is a tyre company. Some shops do mechanical, some just do tyres, wheel alignments, all that sort of thing. It's been around for a while, very popular, and so.
Perfect, okay. No, that's what I thought, and I'm sure most people would have an understanding of that. So what's your role there? What are you doing with Bridgestone?
So I'm a Tyre Technician at Bridgestone, which means that I do tyre fitting, and am maybe going to go into wheel alignments as well. I've been here for 6 months, so progressing slowly, and so pretty much I fit tyres on a daily basis. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And can we talk about that a bit more? So I'm assuming you're working with tyres, working with cars, all that type of stuff. So what's a typical day look like for you? Like, is every day different? Are you doing the same kind of stuff? Can you talk us through what a day would look like, doing what you do?
Yeah. So usually we'll have a range of things going on. So sometimes we'll be doing puncture repairs. Sometimes we'll be doing, a full set of tyres. Sometimes there's wheel alignments going on, sometimes trucks in this particular store. So every day is different. There's a bit of a variety going on, which is what keeps it interesting. It's good fun, not knowing what the tomorrow brings.
Perfect, awesome. And how did you come into this role? Like, is this something you were always keen on? Did it come to you, a bit later on, like after you'd finished schooling? How did that all come about?
Well, originally I was interested in cars and I wanted to do a mechanical sort of job, and I went to a few places, tested them out, weren't really for me, but I still kept an open mind in that sort of field, and I stumbled across this job one day and said, hey, I can do that, and thought, it also interests me, which helps, if you have a job that, doing something that you love doing, it doesn't feel like work. So decided to hit apply, and well, here I am.
Perfect. Happy day. Oh, the rest is history. So you mentioned before you tried a few different things with a few different places, which will remain nameless. But what was it about Bridgestone that stood out to you that you thought, yep, this is going to be a great place to, I guess, progress my career?
Yeah, definitely the people. Not only in this store, but other stores that I've visited, everyone is just very welcoming, very nice, funny, or everything you want in an employer and, colleagues, which makes work so much easier. And on top of that, it's just a very good place. It's managed well, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Okay, and what is so talking about this and talking about an organisation like Bridgestone, I'm sure people have a lot of, I guess, preconceived ideas about what the job might be and what you're doing. And you mentioned before how a lot of the time, you're working on wheel alignment, on tyres, on cars, and all different sorts of things. Is it as simple as that, or is there a bit more to it that people wouldn't normally expect when working for a Bridgestone, for example?
Yeah. Well, in saying that, everyone starts, not everyone, but a lot of people do start from scratch here, and you learn from the ground up. So obviously, it's one thing to just say, I do tyre fitting, but a lot does go into that. There's a lot of little tiny detailed things that you need to look for when you're doing that sort of thing. So yeah, there's definitely another layer to it that people don't usually see. But once you've been doing it for a little while, you understand on a deeper level. For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And what about people who are potentially listening to this today and listening to your story and are thinking, yeah, this sounds like it could be for me. I'm keen on going down a similar path or something like that. What kind of skills and I guess attributes do people need to work for Bridgestone and in the industry more broadly, do you think, knowing what you know now?
Honestly, the main thing is a good mindset and the motivation to do this sort of work. Anything else you can learn, you know what I mean? And yeah, I say give it a go, because you never know, if you don't try, you might end up loving it. And if you do, well, there you go.
Awesome.
Wouldn't have known if you didn't try it. Yeah.
Exactly right. No, I couldn't agree more. And how have you found it being, a young female, being a tyre mechanic? Because I guess it's traditionally been a more male-dominated role, and I guess there still is that preconception and misconception that it is just, a job more for the, big burly guys type of thing. How have you found that, and have you found that Bridgestone have been, a really supportive and progressive workplace for, young females getting into the industry?
Oh yeah, 100%. In this day and age, it's not uncommon to see, females doing male, oriented sort of jobs. But of course, there is still that little stigma against it. And like I said before, the people do make a big difference. Unfortunately, all the guys here are just another day, which is good. And yeah, other workshops I can't speak for, but Bridgestone definitely wouldn't need to worry about anything, happening or being discriminated against because you are a female, which is really good. I'm very grateful for. It's very lucky.
Perfect. No, we love to hear that. We love to hear when organisations that we're working with here at Explore Careers are progressive, especially when they're in industries that perhaps have been more male-dominated or have had a bias one way or the other in years gone by. So that's really exciting to hear. One thing I did want to touch on as well was just outside of work. A big focus for people at the moment is, wanting to make sure that their workplace and where they're spending a lot of their time allows you to maintain, a healthy life outside of work, maintain a healthy work-life balance. So what do you like to get up to outside of work? And does Bridgestone allow you to maintain that, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. So outside of work, I enjoy going camping on the weekends, obviously working on my cars, and yeah, a bit of everything. But Bridgestone definitely accommodates to, my interests and what I do outside of work, which is also a great thing about this company. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome. And last question I want to leave you on, and I like to end, all of these interviews with this question, is what advice would you give to any, young Australians, young people out there watching this today who are, completing their schooling, going through year 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever it may be, because it's often a really stressful time because you're asked to make these, big decisions, and you've got people, whether it be teachers or friends or parents, asking you, what are you going to do? What subject are you going to choose? Are you going to go off to further education? Whatever it may be. And a lot of the time, you're 16 years old, more worried about what's going on the weekend than what you're going to be doing in 10 years' time.
So you should be.
Exactly. So knowing what you know now and kind of living through that, what advice would you give any young people watching this today who are currently experiencing those things that I just mentioned?
Yeah, I would definitely say don't stress at all. I wish, I told myself that when I was around that age, because, you'll try so many different things and, you'll like some of them, you'll hate others, but you don't need to have a set idea of what you want to do straight away. You know what I mean? So just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. And, if you love something, you love it. If you don't, you don't. You just move on to the next thing. So don't stress, definitely.
No, exactly right. No, I couldn't agree more. I wish I could go back. I'm 30 now, but you just don't realise how much time you've got in front of you and how many things you can try and give things a go, and eventually you'll work your way through it. So, no, that's great advice. Victoria, it's been so great chatting to you today. Of course, if you're keen on what
Likewise.
Victoria's had to say today, and you want to learn more about Bridgestone or what type of career opportunities available or how you get your foot in the door, we'll leave all the relevant links down below. Of course, you can visit the Bridgestone profile on explorecareers.com.au. But again, if you want to do your own investigating, we'll leave all the links down below to allow you to do so. But Victoria, it's been so great chatting to you. Thank you so much again for your time, and all the best in the future.
Yep, you too, Mitch. See ya.